This is a weekly overview of the main events in the armed forces of Ukraine over the past week. With improved weather, Russian forces have intensified their offensive. Fighting is ongoing along almost the entire front line. It stretches for 1,200 kilometers. Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, General Oleksandr Syrskyi, emphasized the need to seize a strategic initiative. Therefore, Ukrainian units are conducting an active defense. Thanks to this, in March our troops regained control of almost 50 square kilometers of territory that had been occupied by the enemy. We counter Russian quantity with Ukrainian quality in conducting combat operations, forcing the enemy to constantly postpone the timelines for completing its tasks, noted the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. General Oleksandr Syrskyi also added that based on the result of March, the defense forces struck 76 targets on enemy territory with long-range weapons. Another massive missile and drone strike was launched by the Russian Federation against the territory of Ukraine on the night of April 16th. In Kyiv, 4 people were killed, including a child. More than 50 people were injured. 17 apartment buildings and 10 private houses were damaged. Also, as a result of Russian strikes, 8 civilians were killed in Odessa and 5 in Dnipro. In total, more than 100 people were injured in the mentioned cities due to the Russian attack. The President of Ukraine expressed condolences to the families of the victims. He emphasized that the night proves that Russia does not deserve any easing of global policy or lifting of sanctions. Russia is betting on war, and the response must be the same. It is necessary to protect lives by all means, and it is also necessary to apply pressure for the sake of peace by all means, the head of state stressed. Fighters of the 71st Separate Airmobile Brigade eliminated 29 Russian invaders. They attempted to infiltrate the rear of Ukrainian positions in Sumy region using a gas pipeline. This was not the first such attempt. Thanks to the reconnaissance, drones and artillery, the enemy was detected and stopped in time. At the same time, Russian troops have intensified actions in Sumy regions and are trying to expand control zones 1 to 1.5 kilometers from the border. The Tuapsinsk oil refinery in Krasnodar region of Russia was struck by the defense forces of Ukraine. A hit was recorded, followed by a fire. The strike was carried out by operators of the unmanned system forces in coordination with Special Operation Forces, military intelligence, the Security Service of Ukraine and other components. The Special Operation Forces struck the base of a high-tech Russian unit. Strikes on enemy facilities in occupied Manhush, Donetsk region were carried out by drones at night. Explosions and large fires were recorded. The defense forces struck an enemy tactical group concentration area in temporarily occupied Sevastopol, equipped with the Bastion coastal missile system. These systems are used to launch Zircon hypersonic and Onyx supersonic missiles. The Air Force struck enemy drone warehouses near Donetsk airport. Scalp cruise missiles and GBU-39 guided bombs were used. Enemy air defense systems were again targeted. In Feodosia, the neighbor U radar station was hit. There was also confirmation of strikes earlier in the week on 2 radar stations in Belgorod region of Russia. Additionally, Ukrainian forces struck 2 radar stations, one of which is part of the S-400 system. For the first time in the war, the defense forces captured an enemy position using only unmanned platforms. The operation was carried out without infantry, using ground robotic systems and drones, and the occupiers surrendered. Over 3 months, ground robotic systems have completed more than 22,000 missions. Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrskyi and Chief of the General Staff Andrii Hnatov took part in the meeting of the Coalition of the Willing. The event helps coordinate actions to support Ukraine, which is defending the eastern flank of Europe. Belgium confirmed it will transfer additional F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine and supply spare parts. This year, Belgium is allocating €1 billion to defense assistance. Spain is also providing €1 billion. Defense ministers discussed cooperation, including testing Spanish unmanned systems in combat conditions. This was a weekly overview of the main events in the armed forces of Ukraine. Take care. Glory to Ukraine!